Welcome back, and this is Lone-Wolf Scouting Fatwood Adventures, and this is episode 37. And let me show you what I got, a piece of pure gold. Look at this. This was what was buried. This beautiful, huge, old knot. And that's what I'm going to cut into next. And this looks like part of a wing system here, and I know that is going to be totally saturated with fatwood. Welcome back, and this is Lou from the Outdoor Wilderness Wildlife Adventures, and this is Lone-Wolf Scouting Fatwood Adventures. And folks, I came across some really beautiful fatwood. It's almost, I would say, a graveyard. If you would look behind me, you can see this one point too. Look at this. This is fatwood, and look at the color of it all. This is from the high tides. This is near the marsh, but this is definitely fatwood, folks. So I'm going to cut into this because I know there is some premium fatwood in this. And not to mention, there's a couple other trees that I want to look at. And not going to harvest much today, but I just want to look at them and kind of mark this territory where I can find us again. Because this, folks, and this is going to be another exciting educational outdoor wildlife scouting fatwood experience. Stay there. Welcome back, and this is Lone-Wolf Scouting Fatwood Adventures, and this is episode 37. And let me show you what I got, a piece of pure gold. Look at this. This was what was buried. This beautiful, huge, old knot. And that's what I'm going to cut into next. And this looks like part of a wing system here, and I know that is going to be totally saturated with fatwood. Welcome back, and I want to show you something that I came across. It is totally covered with moss, green moss, as you can see that. I hope the head cam can pick this up. I hope it's picking all this up. You can see all this green moss, and this is definitely fatwood, folks, just by the characteristics of the shape and the way everything looks. This is the core. Everything else around it rotted, and I did chip away at it. Wasn't sure because it looks really wet, but I started cutting into it a little bit and gave it a smell. And by the way, this is my brand new Bobcat Laplander. This is a beautiful saw, a hand saw made in Sweden, and this is the third one that I bought. The other two work fine. I just wanted to buy another one, and I'm going to use it for the first time in this video. So folks, here we are. I'm going to cut into this right here. And you see how easy this cuts right through it. It's like butter. And if this is not fatwood, I don't know what is, folks. But look at the color of that fatwood. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful fatwood. Look at that. Look at this little piece right here. This thing weighs a couple of pounds. It's small. And I just want to show you that. And I found this along the way. Just laying there. You see that? Beautiful little piece right there. And another one. Believe it or not, this is a knot. That is definitely a small little knot, folks. This thing is heavy. It's solid. Solid wood. And not to mention this right here. This is definitely a pine tree. And you can see by when I show you with my head cam, the perimeter. This is the perimeter of this pine tree, and I can tell just by taking a little piece of bark off there, you can see that. You can see that that's definitely fatwood. I mean, pardon me, you definitely can see that this is a dead pine tree. And this piece right here, just with the head cam, see what it's rotted, and it looks like a hole for an animal in there. Not sure if that's a home for an animal, but I'm gonna kind of step back away from that. Alright, so we have this here. I found this piece here My head cam is picking this up. I already got a few knots. I don't want to take a lot out with me today. I basically want to give a demonstration of my Redcamp boxwood stove. And I know that this looks like a wing here. So what I want to do, this thing is really entrenched. So what I'm going to do is reposition the cameras. I'll be right back, and I'm going to unearth part of this wood that you see right here. I have to pull this up a little bit because I see a knot going straight into the ground. So I'll be right back pulling this up a little bit. This is good. Yeah, there it is. Okay, look at this beautiful, beautiful piece of old, very old fatwood. And this is my project for today. I'm not going anywhere else because there's a few other places that I've been to that I saw where fatwood is. And I'm putting little markers like you can see there, an orange piece of tape, so I can find my way back to this location a little easier. But I'm going to start harvesting some of this. Let me get these cameras going now. Okay. Alright, back to recording here. So now folks, what I want to do, I want to cut right into this beautiful knot I just found. Look at this knot. Look at that. Look at this beautiful knot. Look at the size of that. Wow. And I'm going to cut this with my Bobcat Laplander, my brand new Bobcat Laplander. I'm going to cut it as close as I can to what we will call the stem. I would say right here is a good place to start cutting. And this is very wet wood because, yes, that's definitely fatwood. Because it's near the marsh, folks. You know, when the tide comes up about, I would say about this to this level here, unless it's just all the rain we've been having. But this thing it's very wet. I have a brand new saw, so that shouldn't be too hard. There it is. I could smell it from where I am. I could smell this. This thing is incredible. Incredible wood. So much out here. Oh boy, look at that. That is a heavy piece of wood. Wow. Look at that beautiful fatwood. Look at that. Give enough time on that camera to absorb and to look at and study the rings. Look at that, folks. That is one beautiful piece of fatwood. I want to chop into this real quick. Just to show you what's inside this beautiful piece of fatwood. That is awesome. It's just wet. It's very moist fatwood, but it is definitely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, fatwood. And that is beautiful fatwood. Even as moist as this wood is, you can see how beautiful that is. Look at that. As moist as this wood is, folks, and it's been laying there in mud, it still lights. You take some of the shavings, it would still ignite. It's amazing. Amazing piece of fatwood. Wow. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so this is what you do. You have to have a trained eye, know what to look for. You have to know the characteristics of what a dead pine tree looks like, especially when it's just, you could say, the skeleton left with knots sticking out of it. Look at that. That is a beautiful piece of fatwood. Wow. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I have a piece here, and I see the small one right here. I'll cut this small little knot. Wow. Look at that. Look at that color. This tiny little knot. Look at that. Wow. That is totally amazing. That is totally amazing. Wow. Look at that. Look at the color. That That is a real serious dark amber. Just when I get into it deep enough, you can see that. Look at that. That is an amazing piece. A small, very small knot. It weighs more than a pound, believe it or not. Look at that. That is Fatwood. Okay, we have two pieces here. That's a beautiful little piece. So this is the only piece I'm going to work on today. So what I'm going to cut is right here. This is the spine. This is the, what fed the resin to the knots and to the branches. So I'm going to cut like right here. See what we got. Well, this is what I thought. This doesn't have much of Fatwood in it, but the knots, I'm certainly sure these knots right here, right there, I'm going to cut into right now, and we're going to see what it has. Maybe I can just probably cut it, chop it. That is certainly Fatwood, folks. Wow, look at that. I'm going to cut the rest of it. But this is just as exciting to me. Hopefully it is to you. Look at that color. Wow, look at this. Look, that's what's inside this wood. That's what's inside there. And I'm going to cut it with the saw. I have to. I don't want to waste any of this right here. There it is. Oh my goodness. Look at the color of this one. Look at that. These little knots make great fire sticks. You can use this as a insect repellent. You take little sticks and you put them around yourself, light them up, and it's like having a wick. The saturations of terpene in this is just, it's phenomenal. It stays lit by itself. Look at that. That is one beautiful piece of Fatwood. Okay, and let's see what this has here. Before I do that, I'm sure this is definitely, wow, I just don't know where to start. This is the only piece I'm going to be working with today, folks. The only piece. But I'm not sure where I want to start cutting. I'm going to cut right here. This is a big piece I'm going to cut. So let's see how far I can get with this saw. By the way it's cutting, it feels hollow. That piece right there. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Oh. Well, that is Fatwood. This little piece. Look at that. I'm going to use some of this wood to show you how to light a box stove, hiking box stove, wooden box stove. You put wood. I think it takes just about any kind of fuel. Oh, I cannot believe the color of this wood. This little piece right here is gold. Pure gold, folks. Little pieces of that. Look at that. That's a beautiful piece of Fatwood right there, folks. Here we are. That's what we're talking about. And I want to cut just a little piece right here. Let's see. Fatwood, yes it does. Reaches all the way here. And a good thing to do when you're out here doing something like this, cover your tracks. Try not to make it look like you were here. And believe me, all my videos I have not shown you, but I did cover my tracks out of respect. Although I wasn't on the beaten path, off the beaten path, but you never know who can you never know who can come wandering through these woods. Could be a year, 10 years from now. You never know. I'm going to cut another piece right here. This is totally, wow, I can't believe it. Wow. And I know people say, when there's wood that's wet, you can easily mistake it for Fatwood, but not this, and not the smell, not the smell of it. This is an amazing piece of wood. Look at that. That is an amazing piece of wood, folks. I'm going to have to get my knife out because I want to cut down in the middle of this and take a water break. See you shortly.